Yes, guys, welcome from me, Championship Manager 0102. It is finally here. As well as the update for October 2023, we also have the very, very latest Nix Patcher, which I think came out yesterday, the 23rd of October. Took me a bit of time to work my way around it. Now, I need to point out, guys, that when you install Nix Patcher, there are some basics that you can do and you'll have no errors. All you've got to do is follow the simple procedures. But when you want to sort of look a little bit more in depth with the MISC patches, you do run that risk. Now, yesterday I was pissing around. I say pissing around a bit. I was installing it and I got a few errors, but I knew where my errors were. So, I'm going to start from the very, very start. I'm going to start at the very beginning. First things first. Before you install CM, right, make sure you have not got any other versions of CM on your system, unless, of course, you have multiple installations like myself. Now, if you've got multiple installations, you will know what you're doing. So, but what I'm saying by multiple installations, if you've got a folder which just says Championship Manager 0102, without anything in brackets, then you need to delete that manually. Uninstall, make sure you've got nothing manually. It's really, really important. I have so much CM stuff on my computer, but I know everything is. I have tools, most of which I don't even touch. For example, I only ever touch this installation for when I'm playing the DTL. I only ever touch this version for my three-man game. That is for my game with Matt. This is my recent update that I've put in yesterday, but I'm going to do another one. So, where do we start then? Okay, so make sure you've got no CM in at all. Now, either put your CD in or get ready to mount your ISO. Your ISO will look something like that. If you are downloading the game legally from the website, that's what you would download, an ISO format. If you are Windows 8 and above, then you're in luck because you will have an automatic generated built-in virtual drive. If you are Windows 7, then you will need to get a third-party program. So this is Windows 10. So all you do, double-click this ISO wherever it's downloaded to, and what that does is that inserts a virtual CD. Now, the reason I'm saying that, I'm not trying to teach you how to fucking suck eggs or anything like that, right? But one of the most common things that people say is, it says, please insert disk. And it's like, mate, fuck's sake. That is what I've just done there. I've inserted my disk just by doing that. And as you can see, drive D, it says here drive D, it's a virtual drive. It's a virtual drive, and that's what that is. You can, I mean, if you still do this sort of stuff, I don't think I've done this for years, but you can burn a disk if you wish. Just remember, guys, you can download this legally for free from the official Championship Manager website. The link is in the description. Okay, so first things first, install CM. And another real little fucking bugbear of mine, right, is when people, they fire up this, what I've just done, they put the CD in or fire up the ISO and they double click that. Mate, it ain't gonna fucking work. It ain't gonna fucking work, alright? You know, you're trying to run the game without installing it. So you need to run the setup, okay? Run the setup. Now, everybody's got their own specifications, and including language, of course. Now, just obviously choose your directory. I personally always go custom, each to their own, and I take off all this shit. Okay. Now, remember the days when you put a CD in, this would light up because it's reading from your CD. Do you want to create a shortcut on your desktop if you want to do that? If you are using multiple installations, bypass that. Do not do that. You should already have the DirectX installed, but it's no harm in fucking just pressing finish again. And we are installed. Now, the next step, very, very important. You need to go and run the official 3.968 patch, which I do have. I have it in all my CM. That is not mine, by the way, Roblox. I do not play Roblox, before any fucking wise ass says. Okay, so that is what the 3.968 patch. Again, that is an official patch. You need that for any update, any Nix patch, anything like that. You need that, okay? So, this will also automatically detect you've got CM what I've just put on, literally just put on, it will also automatically detect it. And there you see, current version 3.960. And I am now installing 3.968. So important. Some people forget that step. That is a massive step. It's imperative. That is done. Okay. Next step. So you would have already downloaded the update somewhere and put it somewhere. So October 2023. So wherever you've downloaded the update, again from the website, all free. Highlight everything. Highlight all the icons and copy them. Okay, once you've copied them, you can cut them if you want, but I copy them. And then, now this, I know that this is my new installation because it's not renamed, as you can see. And paste them within the data folder, overriding anything that you are prompted to do. Okay. Now, as it stands, right, the update is ready to play. If you don't want to use a Nixpatcher, Nixpatcher isn't for everybody. Nixpatcher is not for everybody. But that is ready to run. Now, if you are doing installations, right, multiple installations, at this stage, right, just make sure you're running an administrator and Windows 95 or Service Pack 3. Windows 95, I'll explain why in a minute. If you are running multiple installations, your very next step is rename this to what you wish. So let's just, you can only do, right, so we've called it test, alright? That's if you are doing multiple installations. Do not run the game for the first time before you've renamed it. Now, once you've renamed it like I've just done, those properties that I just went to will have, should have reset. Okay, they haven't reset. Okay, it's not a massive issue. Okay, so let's just... So, the game is firing up. There you see the update 2023. And I like to always go into a window form. And that is that. It says 3.968 in the corner. Remember, we upgraded to 3.968. And what I'll do very quickly is I will just fire up a quick game with a minimum database, just England, just so you can see the update is up and running. And then I will show you... what the next step is. In fact, we'll come to that in a minute. So your next step is the patcher. Download the latest patcher. You can get it on Nixfred, and the version is 2.26. In fact, right, very quickly. So at this point, when you first start a brand new game, if it says please insert disk in a grey box like this, that's because you haven't double-clicked this. Okay. You can now remove the CD. And then there we are. Let's go to Arsenal. We'll go to Arsenal. Declan Rice is always a good one. Okay, so that's the update. Okay, and right. Okay, and that is that. So your next step then, go to wherever you've downloaded. I mean, the chances are it's going to be in your downloads, but go into your downloads. Go and find Nixpatcher, which is 2.26, and fire it up now. Very important. If you are having multiple installations, or if you've already renamed your that one that I've just done, as you can see, it can't find it. The reason it can't find it is because I've just renamed it. So browse to the exe that you want to modify. So let's just double check. I know it's this one here, the test, and you double click it. So browse it, go to it. Now I know what it's going to ask me. It's going to say this is the first time you are patching this X. Do you want us to make some suggestions? And there you see it. On cue, there it is. You are patching an executable that has not been patched before. Would you like us to make some suggestions? If you want, yeah, do it. Okay, so these are the suggestions that they throw at you. This is up to you now what you want. You know, some people have different currency inflation. Some people have different speed. Some people don't want that fourth column of attributes, which is to show hidden attributes. Some people don't swap South Korea for China. You know, it's each to their own. Some people want to restrict the WibWob screens, which is actually a very good call. Replace the Welsh Premier League with the National North or the South. I always choose the North. Some people have resolution issues. Change the resolution. I don't ever change my resolution because I always play in window form. Do you want star players? Disable that splash screen. Disable the CD removal message that we just saw a moment ago. Disable that unprotected contracts bullshit. It's all each to their own, okay? I mean, things like this apply, but I don't see any harm to fucking check that. Enable potential to grow. Check that. So, choose your desired tick boxes. Now, this is purely the main patcher options, okay? So, choose your preference. Now then, once you've done these, you are ready to go. You are ready to go. Now, there are various other tools you can do within Nix Patcher. Again, as I said, what I would suggest, right, guys, is we see so many people come onto the, not so much Facebook, but more onto the forums, and they say, I've got this error, I've got that error, I've got this error, I've got that error. First things first, right, if you do get an error, try and be more specific and say what error it is. Secondly, the chances are the errors are going to be self-inflicted somewhere. Just remember, what you see on this main patch, on this main screen here, some of them are conflicted with what I'm about to go to, so you've got to be careful not to double up, and that's where you get errors. So, first things first then, what we'll do, so we'll change the start year to 2023. Now look in the bottom right hand corner, apply year specific MISC patches. Now that's going to light up when I reach the 20s. And you want 2023. Now if you look on the previous Nix Patcher, that did not light up on 2023. It was only on 2022. So, that's what I want. Now this would be my usual specifications. I would do that, I would do that, I would show you, I would do that. I don't replace AI tactics with anything. I leave the AI tactics because I want the AI tactics to be as per the update. So I leave that as is. And that is everything that I would do. And I would apply. Now, oh shit. Now, before you apply, right, what I strongly suggest, right, is save. And basically what you're doing is you're making a restore point. So if you do fuck up anything, you can restore back to it. And this is what I did yesterday. So that's that. So I'm now going to apply. Now, before you apply, it does specify that there's a couple of things that are irreversible, which is the Welsh League being replaced with the National North, and the swap in South Korea for China. Also, which is irreversible, is the restricting players' tactics and scouters. Now, this will take a moment or so to patch, but you'll see it will come up in a minute. Now, if you decide, oh, fuck, I don't want the Welsh Premier League with the North, replaced with the North, I want it with the South, you can restore. You can restore to that save point. Of course, if you were to save after this, the restore point will be after you've done it. So, this is step 2, but just remember you don't have to have these same things that I've done. You may just want a good speed, coloured attributes, and the year, 2023. You may want that. Okay, and there you go, patched successfully. So that is that. Now then, the next step, if you wish, the tools within Nix Patcher. Now, you are doing this at your own risk. Just want to put that out, and Nick does specify that. So, there's a few of these, right, that some of which I don't use, I don't tamper with, or anything like that. Some of which I don't know. That is new, I believe. Review your exe log. I haven't really looked into that yet. There's probably something that I can learn with the offset calculator, but there is another way that I do it. So the first 3 things that I do on every installation, for me personally, is the work permit bullshit, the EEC patcher. So, assuming you want the work permits turned off, that is. Always go back and just double check, because I'm on multiple installations. In your data folder, this will make all countries EEC members, removing the need for work permits. Continue. Yes, done. That's 1. Remove stadium limits. I don't think that actually works, to be honest with you, but nevertheless, I do it anyway. People say that you get a lot of blocks and stuff, don't you, when you're trying to increase your stadium. Done. And the third thing I do is the referee patcher. Now, it came up some years ago on one of the updates that the referee, you were getting too many red cards. I felt that as well, so I changed it from 80 to 50. 50 or 60 normally works. And those 3 things I do. Now, what you could do at this point, if you wish, right, is apply, right? I don't think you need to apply, if I'm honest with you, is go run a game. Run a game, make sure it loads okay. Make sure it loads okay, and if it does, come out of it, come back to this, and save. Now remember that I'm saving over my previous one, so if I decide now I don't want to have the English National North, or I don't want the China League, it's tough shit. The only way I can get around that is to completely start again. But that saving is really important, particularly for this next part that I'm about to show you. Okay, so the misc patches. Now the misc patches, that is a very important statement from Nick there. You are on your own. Don't ask for help, because you need to know what you're fucking around with. Okay, now these are the multiple misc patches that enhance the game. Now there's lots in here that are already ticked, that Nick has kindly already had preset, which are brilliant. Things like, right, things like when you offer a contract and he wants squad rotation, you offer him it, and he don't want squad rotation. You go back and you can't change it. You can change it instantly. Little things like that. They're not to cheat. Clearly, they're not to cheat. But you've got to really. Most of them, and I do stress most, not all, have a description. That they're already cleaned, already set up. Clean up on closed window. I like that. Enable season ticket money on your first year. I would check that. Ensure your cash doesn't reset to 0. I like that's important. Making sure the board don't intervene on transfers, where it gets cancelled. That's already checked. Network game. Now, network game, I always check, because as you know, I play a lot of network games. And going back to when I was showing you the compatibility, your network compatibility for network games can be Windows 95 if you're playing a network game, and that is an important misc patch that you need. All these sort of things here, I check them all. The goalie stats fix, the fitness patch, a lot of which are already done for you. Human manager attributes. Ignore player histories. Some people want that, the histories of players. I don't. It doesn't appeal to me, and so on and so on and so on. There's a few that I'm going to have checked on my proper installation that I won't check now, because I just want to flick through it. No complaining about training. Now I did this yesterday, right, and I checked some, and it kept giving me an error. So clearly something that I was checking was conflicting with this main one here. Something was conflicting. Page down, pause on minor injuries, and so on and so on. Then there is one particular one that I always like to check, and that is that one there, the loan protection. I like that feature from Saturn, where you cannot bid for a player on loan. So let's just apply, and there you see that is all done. So again, what you can do at this point here is go and start a new game. Start a new game. Make sure some of those things that you've put, that you've ticked, are into effect, and that's that. Okay, and then if it all works, then same applies. Save again, so you got that backup. Now the last thing I'm going to show you is apply a patch file. Now people say, "Oh, I want the patch file. Why is it not a Nix Patcher?" Nix Patcher don't have everything. I'll show you. Nix Patcher has obviously the most important ones, and some people, not just Nick, there's a few people that have made offsets for patches. Fuck knows how they do it. They use that Ollie program or whatever. I don't know how you do it. I think it's remarkable stuff. So these are specific patches that I really like. Now, one of which that I got recently was more goals. Apparently, Nick had something similar, like about a goalkeeper. He had a beta boring goalkeeper, goals dry up in the future. Someone's made a patch, and now that on a test, that is very effective. Just double click it. I'll show you what these look like in a minute. No maximum wage. I've decided I don't really like that. And the rest of my offsets, there you can see A1 squad status. That is when you can look at AI player and see if he's not needed by the club, if he's indispensable. All jobs together. Actually, that's not necessary because Nick now has that in his patches. Chairman attributes, if you wish. I don't need that human attributes anymore. The no club search. will minimise the players with a PA of 150. The school search will minimise players to a PA of 180. And you also have the emphasis of training facilities out of 20, as well as if they're just very good or world class. They're just my own preference ones. There's no point in me saying to Nick, can we get all these added on your patcher? Because that's not for everybody. You know, like I said, that all jobs together, that I can delete that. I don't need that because Nick's now incorporated it in his own MISC patches. Not necessarily checked. You may need to check them. That is that. Now, again, the same applies. Save your apply it or apply them all. Go and start a new game. See that they'll work. Come back to it and save. Now, when I fired this all up yesterday, everything. After I got it all sorted, everything was absolutely fine. There was one slight thing. I did put feedback on the forums. Wasn't an important thing. The World Cup history of Argentina winning the 2022 World Cup wasn't there. So what I did is I went into the history editor right here. Like I said, there's a few of these things I don't even know what they are. The RGN image converter, I've never even dappled with it, to be honest with you. Oh, shit. Shit. It's all gone fucking paused. How do you like that? How do you fucking like that? Alright, here we go. So, the World Cup, all I did is I added it in my set... oh, right, okay. So I had to add it in myself. This is a new installation. So, just remember that this is based on 0102. Forget the year change for a minute. So what I did is I wrote in 2002, Argentina, and so on and so on and so on. There you see. And that was it. And that's all I'd done. And then when you fire up a game, it's all up to date. Okay, so I don't think there's any other issues. I haven't really looked, to be honest, at the other internationals. They don't bother me, even if they are slightly out. It doesn't bother me at all. As I said, player transfer tool. I've never even played with that, but I'm sure it's a very good tool. I don't even know what save changer tool is. Some stuff I haven't got a fucking clue what they are, and I really should look at them. I haven't got the foggiest. RGN image converter is to do with I think it's to do with your images, what you have. I don't even have mine changing. I choose not to. We went through these. So I don't even know what Save Scouter is. That's it. I use the Scout within the game. So that is that. Now, before I go any further then, guys, what we're going to do is we're going to fire up the game. And we will see. We are almost done, guys. I know you're probably sick of the sound of my voice. If you're not, I know my wife is, because she's in the room staying really quiet. She's on orders. Okay, so this back picture you see of the goal net, that is the RGN converter, I believe. I just choose to keep it completely as is. So there's lots of things that that I like. I mean, even little things like see any team's finances or the AI's finances. I believe in my world, I believe as a manager playing the game, I should have access to see what they're working with. And the reason being is how many times you see a fucking team bid for a player and they haven't got the money. I also have a little thing where second name requirement isn't necessary, but I didn't add it, so that's that. What we'll do is we will just check. We'll just pick fucking Arsenal for the sake of it, and that is that. Now, let's just firstly let's just take a look at Chelsea, and let me take someone for example. In fact, let's look at Ziyech. So you can't bid for Ziyech because I've got that loan protection on. But if you look at Ziyech, no, not Ziyech. Oh, I didn't put that. Did I not put that patch in about squad status? No, I didn't, did I? See, ordinarily, I would be able to look at their squad status if they're a squad rotation and that sort of stuff. It's just a personal preference of mine. It really is, just a personal preference of mine. Let's look at the school search. Remember, these are case sensitive. The school search isn't done either, it looks like. I don't even know which ones I did, to be honest with you. Which of those fucking... which ones did I do? Either way, let's look at jobs. Obviously, if you've got multiple leagues open, they'll all be chucked onto one page. And that is it. The game is ready to go. The year 2023. Let's look at the World Cup history quickly. There you see, Argentina is in. France runners up. Croatia third place. Qatar the host. We are all ready to go. Now, the very, very last thing, I keep saying it's the last thing I'm going to show you, don't I? The last thing I'm going to show you, this is my own specification of the October, and you can't rename it once you fired it up, remember that? Okay, so that has renamed, I've renamed it Oct23 N226, which is October 2023, NIX 2226. We will start a quick game on the minimum database. I probably should have done it on the one that I just showed you, but this is my own specifications of an install, which is basically everything that I've just been going through. So I will show you. So if I just do that, we'll just choose Chelsea, and that is that. Now if I go to the school search, you'll see there's a lot less players. There you see, that's all there is, because they all have a minimum PA of 180. Remember, some players load up different other times. Ethan Mbappe, he won't always be there, you see. It depends how one player loads up on a save. But you'll always find certain players, like players like Gavi. Gavi will always be there, because he's a fucking monster, isn't he? But it's only under 20s, remember. Only under 20s. Wow, Felix, we can't buy him, but let's have a look at Felix. As you can see, he is an important first-team player. Now, the loans on the game, as you know, are quite flawed, so I'm not 100% sure if that's Barcelona giving him that. I don't think it is. I actually think it's Atletico Madrid. So let's look at a Barcelona player. Let's look at Gavi. Gavi is going to be used in squad rotation. So if you look for a player, let's have a look now then. So let's look at Erling Haaland, important first team player. And you can see I've got the uncapping of 20s. Phil Foden is one of the highest valued players. Remember I've got my value at 2.5. Martinelli, Alvarez, I mean that is bullshit for me. You know, that they're all fucking bullshit. Some of these. Foden's one of the highest valued. And that's that. That is it, guys. That, you know, Jude Bellingham, absolutely remarkable. So I have the histories turned off. I choose for having the histories turned off because I just don't think they're necessary on a brand new start. Hidden attributes, the fourth column is right there. Manage any team. Now what that does is that just I just like the manage any team. I just think it's a good thing to have. Show star players. So they say that my star players, even at my own team, is Fernandes, Reece James, and Nkunku. I thought Reece James would have started injured. I am almost finished, guys. And that is it. That is absolutely everything, guys. And also, very, very quickly, the very last thing I told you about training facilities are out of 20. There you see, out of 20. And you can look at AI bank balance. As you can see, Man City have £350 million. Tottenham, and so on and so on and so on. And that is it, guys. That is the October 2023 update with Nix Patcher 2.26. I'm hoping I haven't missed anything out. If I have, feel free to share it, because you know what, I'm only fucking human. But there's so much more to the Nix Patcher that I don't know. You know, I would say there's a lot more to it that I'm just oblivious to. But like I said, don't fuck around with things you don't know unless you've got your save point. Get your save point and then fuck around. Or, if you're happy to persevere, keep fucking around, keep reinstalling, keep fucking around, keep reinstalling, but don't fucking go onto the forums and say, oh, I've got an error, I don't know what it is. When the chances are, right, it's a real simple thing. You know, just cover all your bases. Cover your bases. You know, the update, if you don't want Nix Patcher, the update is piss easy. Even a fucking spastic could do it. But it is really straightforward. You just got to follow. And I can't stress enough, guys, right, about Nick's statement here. This is a list of all current miscellaneous patches. Do not apply any of these unless you know what you're doing. You will most likely break your X. And he's absolutely right. And I said this on my last update of Nix Patcher. He's absolutely right. You know, and if anyone's got any information that they can add with regard to some of these other Nix Patches, share it with me. I'm always willing to try and increase my own knowledge. There's always stuff for us to learn. I think it's great. There's something on here, right? There's something on here very, very quickly that Nick... Nick added, and he added it specifically for me, and he actually put the description over here for me, and it was to do with where is it? There it is, that one there. And as requested by Offside Trap, which is myself, this reduces the number of days it takes for the FA to reply to 2 or less. So when you appeal for a red card, and you know what, and this is what my point about the work that goes in from Nick, the other guys that do offsets. I can't remember the names off the top of my head, if I'm truly honest with you. And not to mention all the guys that work on the update as well. But he sent me the offsets. He sent me the offsets initially to test it, I think. And then he added it into this, which was just fucking brilliant. You know, so I don't need to apply it myself. Absolutely, because it's something that appeals to most people. Even little things, right? Like this here, a guy called a guy like Hodgie, I think that's one of the guys on the forums. He made this patch here, and I think it's great. So basically, we combine appearances on the player history screen. So instead of 10 and 10 as subs, it simply now shows 20. And I think, you know, that appeals to me. I don't see the point of having just league only. Or all. I just have all. I don't see the point of having both. But if you look at these, but like I said, make a backup. And just also don't get confused here with some of this. I wouldn't personally play with this 2021, 2022, the 2023. But just remember, guys, if you are going to play within 2023, you must have apply the specific misc patches. You must have them enabled, and that's it, guys. So that is it, guys. That is enough from me, because I'm sick of the sound of my own voice. If Annie and the kids are not sick of the sound of my voice, I sure as hell am. And until next time from me, guys, take it easy.